Hi, this is James Foulkes of Integrative Healing Arts, and today we're going to do a Scaravelli Inspired Yoga practice based on some of the teachings from my book, Principles and Themes in Yoga Therapy. And today we're going to be looking at creating the conditions, which is an important part of our practice and really relates to an understanding of the fact that our practice is not posturally led. We're looking for vibrant health, and in order to find vibrant health we have to look with a different kind of seeing than we ordinarily have in our normal world, which is very partitioned. We see a lot of separateness, and what we're looking for here as we really see our health more fully is that there is no beginning and no end to our yoga practice. Everything is included, and when we're working to create the conditions, we're finding yoga in those moments prior to postural exploration, so that the posture unfolds from the yogic principles already being active in that moment. And this is a very, very important part of our work. It creates a very refined attention, and we're going to be exploring that today. So let's have a look at that. So let's start on the back. And to begin with, we're just going to relax through the spine and the shoulders, taking a few moments to just feel what's happening deep in the body. In order to move into a state of yoga, we must relax deeply and let go of the stresses of life. And that's letting go both in the mind and in the body. So as you begin, just notice how it feels in your spine today. Notice what stands out. Notice how your breathing feels. And really giving yourself time to begin to attune and observe, because these aspects are very, very important if we are to truly create the conditions for yoga to emerge spontaneously, and for the spine and the wisdom within to really teach us. Okay, so once you've settled, let's come around to all fours. And as we settle onto all fours, you can just let your pelvis drop back towards your heels. And again, if our objective is a free, open spine with length, spaciousness, and ease, we can create that here without having to push, without having to force. The wideness in the shoulders creates the conditions for a free upper spine, the awareness of your head positioning, your awareness of your mind being open and clear, and you can just drop the pelvis back towards the heels slowly. From your feet and ankles and legs, you're creating the conditions for a free sacrum and an open lower back. And then when you're ready, you can tuck the toes under, and the hands and their aliveness create space in the wrists and the elbows into the shoulders and through to the head and the neck. The breath is free and open. The limbs are weight bearing. The spine is free. So this is a good time having observed those things, to begin to feel our way up into dog pose. And we're not in a rush, so we created the conditions for dog pose prior to going into it. Coming back down. So if we then come on to the forearms, and we're going to do the same thing here. So you can have the palms face up, gently lengthen the forearms through towards the hands and the fingers as you rotate the palms down. This begins to activate the spiraling quality in the arms that again can help to open the shoulder girdle, reaching gently out through the fingers. Little finger side of the hand is very alive, soft and open through the thumbs, so you're not tight through the inner part of the shoulder close to the neck. So you're continually creating the conditions for a free spine. At the other end of the body, you're resting into the knees, breathing deep into the abdomen. So when you're ready, you can go up and back into elbow dog pose, unfolding the legs, high up with the pelvis, not forcing. There's an alive rest in the position, and that's coming from how you created the conditions and how you're working with gravity. Lowering back down. Let's come back to all fours. Fingers spread open. So each time we begin anew, as Krishnamurti would often say, beginning anew. Krishnamurti was Vanda Scaravelli's guide philosophically and friend, and they spent a lot of time together, and she embodied the principles of his philosophy in her work. And this creating of the conditions for freedom and space in the body comes from this refined attention to wholeness, feeling the ground, feeling the space around you, feeling the breath, feeling the connections. So all of that is in place, and then the moment is right, and then the posture unfolds without any effort or force. Tuning in to what's happening inside, not pushing against anything. Soften your shoulders. Lowering down gently. Let's come back onto the forearms again. So we're just oscillating, alternating between these two positions, which gives us an opportunity to really see this creating the conditions as a foundational component of our practice. See if you can really rest and become still and observe what's happening in your body. Make subtle refinements in position and space. Allow the breath to move by itself, softly penetrating deep into the body. Spine is open and alive, moving on the breath. Shoulders are relaxed, connected back towards deeper structures of spine and sacrum. Finding this alive engagement through the forearms, this lengthening back towards the elbows, similar to how we would lengthen through to the toes and back towards the heels if we were standing. Feeling this potential energy in the hips as this charge builds up in the hip joint, ready to unfold us into elbow dog pose. without effort or force. So taking time prior to the posture to create the conditions for freedom from which the posture can unfold. Let's come to stand up. So we're going to do the same thing here in standing. Let's take the right foot forwards. We're just going to free the shoulders. And then from here, let's take the arms out to the side, palms face up, reaching out through towards the fingertips. And you can just play with the freedom of the shoulders, rotating from deeply inside. Thumbs roll down, thumbs roll back. And then we're going to bring the hands together behind us with the right foot forwards. Turn the fingers over towards reverse namaste. Sliding the hands up the back to whatever level is comfortable for you. If you can't do that, you can just catch one of the wrists. And from the feet, from the aliveness in the feet, we're creating the conditions for a very free spine. Up through the body, up through into the neck. So already before the posture is entered into, we've created the conditions for space through the shoulder girdle. From there you can fold, alive connections to the spine. Feeling the spine's freedom, maintaining the space in the shoulders, which you already created in the preparation as you created the conditions for this. Coming back up, change sides. You can release the arms if you wish. Refine the shoulders. Come back to this playful movement of the arms. Palms up and out. Hands behind you. Left foot forwards now. Flip the hands over. Try and keep the shoulders free. So you don't want to force the hands up the back because that will lock the shoulders. We need to maintain the freedom in the shoulders. So we're bringing the hands together into reverse namaste or as close as you can comfortably whilst maintaining freedom. And then up through the spine, long through the abdomen, fold at the hips, awakening all the way through the body. The conditions are created, the legs are alive. We're starting from wholeness, we're ending in wholeness with wholeness in the middle. Spine and breath working as one. Legs feeding spine, arms creating space for spine to move through. Coming back up, release again. We can play with a different kind of shoulder freeing. Be gentle. Deep breaths here. Shoulders can get tight as we drive, sit at desks, use technology and so on. Working every day to free the shoulder girdle is a healthy thing to do for the ease of the shoulders over the long term. So arms back out again, hands behind you, fingers flip over. You can keep the hands low if that's better for you, or you can slide the hands up. Connect to the front of the spine, so you've got this length through the front of the abdomen, all the way down towards the sacrum and the pubic bone. And this time, we're going to, again, from these conditions being created of lightness, lift, openness in the spine, openness in the throat and the neck, freedom in the shoulders, open clarity in the mind. We can then fold, drop the right hand to the shin and unfold into triangle pose. So the the space in the spine, the space in the shoulders is already there because of our preparation. Incremental opening. Shoulders are very free. We've simply added a rotation to the spine and unfolded the arms. Back to standing. Let's try the same on the other side. So the feet are meeting the ground in an intelligent way. So there's almost a springy quality that lifts us up. This creates the conditions for that length all the way through. Arms up and out to the side. Free the shoulders again. The connective tissue matrix is constantly changing, constantly remodeling itself based on what's happening within the system, and it is itself body-wide, so up through the spine, all body systems working together, all systems of the psyche and the soul working together. Relaxing down into the feet, but not becoming heavy, so the lightness, the levity remains. Shoulders free, so make sure you can maintain freedom in the shoulders, length through the abdomen, long through the front of the body, folding again at the hips, keeping that sense of spaciousness all the way through. Conditions for the spine's freedom are already, the seeds have already been planted, and then you can drop the left hand to the shin and unfold the right arm, connecting from feet to spine. We already did this in the preparation, keeping the shoulders free. We already did this in the preparation. And then the spine can show you its own wholeness in the moment. You don't need to do it. Coming back up and back to center. So as we come back to standing, as we come back to Tadasana, just notice how it feels in your body. Deep breaths. So we work diligently to create the conditions for yoga to occur, for the spine to be more free, for the system to have more space, more lightness and more ease. Notice any residual effects in the system through the shoulders, through the pelvis, through the spine, through the legs, through the arms, all the way up into the head. Good, all right. Let's come back down. Settle back onto your back once more. Release your shoulders and your spine. Let's try just a couple of other movements here with the same quality. So hands alongside the pelvis. And then rather than racing towards the posture, which might be to lift the pelvis in this instance, how would we invite the shoulders to become more free? Well, we would drop the shoulders and use the fingertips and the hands to keep the shoulders broad. We would have aliveness in the feet and the musculature of the lower legs so that this can unfold effortlessly because the conditions were already created. And there was already a sense of wholeness in the body, of connectivity from one end to the other. Come back down slowly, feeling all the different sensations in the body as a single continuity of life. Let's catch the big toes with the index fingers. You can bring the feet in close. Have the hips free, working gently into the legs so that as you unfold the legs up, there's already this sense of a spacious and long spine. So you're not pulling the legs aggressively, you're unfolding from the center because of the conditions that you've created, not just here in this preparation, but through the previous postures. So slowly opening to find more space and freedom. Feet can be close together or slightly apart. And then release down. And feet back to the floor. Deep breaths. And then you can release the arms down to the side. And close the eyes. And settle for Shavasana and feel yourself as whole. Relaxing deeply. You can extend the legs away when you're ready. When you're ready, you can bring the knees in towards you. Feel how your body responded to the practice. Coming around to sit up.